Right. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another week of profits. Please let me know if you can hear me on the chat box. Let me know if you can hear me clear on the chat box. Is anybody talking to us? Let's see if you can hear me. Can you hear me loud and clear? Let's check the audio settings and the video. So how good is it? Let's know so we can fix that. Watching. Guys, rate my audio and visuals. Are we good with it? Can we proceed from here? Okay, okay. All right, so let's proceed. Okay, so this week is loaded with a lot of opportunities. Anyway, before we proceed, I want to say Happy New Month to everyone on the platform. Happy New Month, Happy New Month. For the month, well, let's look at the economic calendar and see what we are looking forward to. Of course, every new month, there are some key data that are being released, that we need to look at before we can actually look at the direction what we're expecting our pairs or the pairs we have on our watch list to go. So, and on such news like today's we have news GBP. There's news on GBP by 2:30, JPY and USD. So we have all those kind of red folders, even at 3. We have red folder. So which means today is also a very good day to look for trade entries if it align with your analysis. Then overall, let's look at the week overall. So like we said earlier, we're expecting in some key data to be released by today, being Monday. So we're expecting that. Yes, sorry, being Tuesday, we're expecting some key data to be released today on GBP, JPY, and USD. Then tomorrow, being Wednesday, we're also expecting um, a red folder. We're also seeing a red folder in the market. On Thursday, there's red folder. And of course, on that Thursday is when we're having our NFP. So on Thursday is going to be NFP, not Friday. It's NFP is on Thursday. So all these things will have a lot of role to play with all the pairs we're going to be taking this first week and all of that. So what's to having bear that in mind, now the key data, especially that of Thursday, is going to affect the market positively or negatively. The direction the market is going to go, there's going to be a lot of volatility in the market on that Thursday, right? Why? Because NFP is one of the key data that have been released every new month. So now, having said that, we had a lot of expectation on gold last week. We have a lot of expectation, and that was a bullish expectation that we expected on gold. But then we didn't see that come to play. We didn't see that all expectation come to play. So the market was busy, playing games with us. But then we know that during what do you call it? During geopolitical issues, crisis like this, that gold normally goes the upward direction. So, but then with what we are seeing, what the chart is telling us otherwise that since a certain low has been broken, we should just go ahead and look for a sell. And from gold, what we're seeing right now, we see that this high has been broken. This high is broken, and this low has also been broken. That is the change of character we have here. So we have this change of character here. We have this change of character here, and that is telling us we should look for a sell. And to confirm if this sell is going to hold, there are other things we need to do as well. So if this sell, is there anything that is attracting this market downward? Is there something that is attracting this market? Any PDR raise or PD sequence that will be pulling this market downward? So that's the questions we need to ask ourselves. Is there anything that's going to pull this market downward? So now, to answer that question, let's look at it and see if we have the answers. Let's see if we have the answers. Okay, now right here, you can find liquidity below here. There's liquidity here. That liquidity is what is going to pull market into this particular level. So it's going to pull this market into this level here. So that is telling us that gold is going to what? Definitely sell. And it's going to, why is it going to sell? Does it mean that the market is going to be buried? No. Overall, gold is bullish. But this game, remember I told you that the market will always play mind games with you. And that's why the smart money they're always victorious, because they know how to drive the market, play with you in the market, make you have certain beliefs. And when you now decide, cap your analysis based on what you are seeing, because you couldn't see clearly. You're just seeing very few things. You're not seeing as they see. So we that have been trained to see the way they see the market. So we already know that these guys, they're definitely coming down here to liquidate this guy. Now, at what point should we expect a sell if we're going to have a sell? Now we're now going down to a lower time frame. And don't also forget that this move here, this move, there are certain areas that price has not filled. There are certain gap that price has not filled, and this is this gap here. This gap here, fair value gap here, is still waiting for price to come and mitigate, right? So we have this uh, fair value gap here waiting for price to come and mitigate, right? So now, if this market is definitely ready to pull back to this level, and if you draw this your levels from here, let's say this other block, you draw it, you can also look at that this place is what? Is a total soup. Is a total soup that now which the market is an what do you call it? What do we call this? It's actually a trap to make you believe that this market is ready to revert from here upward. So if this market is ready to go deep after taking out this popular low, the market may push forward to tap into this other block or probably this fair value gap before we continue to the upside. Now, for us to know where to enter our sell from, since we are now looking for a sell position, for us to know where we're going to look that for, then jump down to the 4 hours to see if to know if you can see clearly what price action is doing. And clearly, we can see something very, very important here. Now, on 4 hours, these are change of character here that we had on the daily time frame. Is actually like a liquidity on 4 hours. And you know what liquidity, these guys do when they come to liquidity. Remember, people are buying from here, right? They come in, they create that impression that the market is going up. They come back and sweep them. You don't think that the market is going down, right? As you are selling, they are going up. Now, as you already made up your mind that now the market is ready to buy, finally, and there are some things that you need to look forward here. And this is this particular zone. There is a zone line here that market need to tap into. And why are you considering this zone that market need to tap into this particular zone? I'll tell you. I'll tell you why we're looking for this particular supply zone here. Now, the reason why we're looking for this supply zone here is number one, we look at this particular pair. Now, as at the time, this is a base, right? This is where this market expanded from. Now, naturally, when market consolidate and there's an expansion, there should be a retracement. So since it expanded from this particular consolidation area, the market has never pulled back to this particular zone. So we're seeing this price pulling back into this particular zone and selling off to take out this liquidity. So that is what we're expecting gold to do right now. So we're expecting this pull, right? The market pull back into this particular zone and what? And sell down here. So we're expecting this scenario to play out for us. We're expecting the market to continue to go up and what? And sell. So this is what we're expecting of gold this week based on what the market is printing out for us right now. We're expecting this to happen. This has been taken out. We need the market to pull back into this wonderful zone, and we're going to look for a sell. Now, if we're to sell, we're likely going to be looking at that market to sell into. Now, the first place we expect the market to take us to after it took out this liquidity is to come down here and take out this low. Well, we'll be expecting the market to take out this proper low here. Remember, gold needs to be bullish, and for it to be bullish, there are certain things that need to be made, certain um, price levels that needs to get tapped into and all that. So this low would be our expectation that price should come down and liquidate this particular low here after this liquidity. The next target should be this low. After this low, you may likely tap into the fair value gap like we discussed earlier, or the market may decide to reverse from here. So overall, we're looking for a sell on gold. We're looking for a sell on gold, right? So now I can as well go ahead and snap and grab this and post on the platform for you to see. So this is what we're expecting of gold to do. Is gold. Okay, so let's go back. The next pair we're looking at for is Euro USD. Euro USD, remember we agreed that Euro USD was still going to push up, and we're going to be either looking out to sell from here, or we're expecting the market to get to this place before we think of selling Euro USD based on our analysis last week. And I think we got this from a higher time frame. Let's get to understand that. Yes. So that this was another block on monthly. That was another block in monthly. So where we're expecting price to tap into this area, and we say on the daily that this price is actually on the resistance areas, or these are all resistance areas that the market may actually decide to reverse from there. But on the contrary, Euro USD is not ready to reverse soon. until you get to that higher time frame. So we're going to look for reasons to either buy or sell this pair. So now that market is taking out new highs, is taking out new highs, is taking out this high. So we may expect that this market pull back here and take us into that level. If that doesn't happen before Thursday, on Thursday, you may likely see this market. You may likely see this market, print something like this, come into this place, and will move here, or tap into this place, come in here, give you this correction, right, and what, and move into sell. So these are the two um, areas we're waiting to see Euro USD. Either to buy from here or to sell from here. So Euro USD, that's what we're expecting on Euro USD this week. We're expecting this to happen, right? Or we get our seller and more of a sell than a buyer on Euro USD. Because even looking at this is even closer to this than here, closer to this. And this is a very uh, big key zone. This is a very good key zone on the high time frame. So this will likely give us a sell. But then let's see what happens between now and Thursday. So as you know, first week like this are not a very good week. First week of every new month is not actually a very good week for major price movement. You start expecting that from the second week, but then you are going to have an idea of where price is going to go into, and that's why it's after all these economic data releases that you now start. Except if you're a swing trader, that's when you start looking for huge movement in price. Any questions so far before we continue? Any question? If there's any question, let me know. If you want, if you have any questions, let me know. Questions. Okay, so since we have no questions, let's continue. Okay, so the next one we're going to be looking at is GBP GBP we also looked at GBP last week, and we also come to understand or conclusion that these are also resistance level that price may likely decide to reverse from here. But the best area we want to expect price to reverse from is this particular one, this particular high. That's what we'll be expecting price to reverse from. So similarly to Euro USD, this one we're also expecting a buy from here, right? We're expecting a buy from here. We want to look for a buy from here, and we're expecting this to happen, either the market to come down, right? Come down into this demand zone and revert from this high after breaking this high or even this high. So any of these highs here, we're expecting when the market breaks it, it should come and give us some reason to look for that particular sell. So this is also what we're expecting. So this concept can happen around this high, or this high. So any of these highs, we're expecting a sell above it and a buy from this particular zone. That is still GBP USD. GBP USD. Okay, so I also posted that one on Telegram. Okay, so USD cards. Okay, so last week we we talked about this USD card, how it correlates with oil, the oil market, and why we'll be expecting a sell from that particular setup because of what is currently happening in geopolitically, right? Geopolitical event that is happening. So, and we finally got to the levels we're expecting them, though we couldn't catch it, catch the move. The market fell and is still currently selling. So today, let's look at oil and see what oil is doing for us to decide whether we join, we find a way to sell, or we can see oil is consolidating particular at this particular key level, right? It's consolidating on this particular key level, which is this demand zone for a buy. And I told that when oil is bullish, USD card will be bearish. So now that we have established that oil is still getting ready to buy, right? It's still in that area. It's not ready to sell, but it's ready to buy, which is going to strengthen USD card for a sell. You can see those signals, all around here. So what we're going to do right now is to find a way to get our entries into these levels. So for us to do that, we're going to come in here and find reasons to sell. I'm going to find reasons. Market is already selling. There's not. It needs to break this low. There's no broken it. But on 4 hours, we'll see that happening, right? Broke your structure, change your character, pull back, and definitely we should expect market to pull back into this zone. So we expect market to pull back into this zone, and we're expecting our sell. We're expecting a sell from that particular zone. So if you ask me, this sell is going to be huge because by the time oil began to move, begin to soar high, this thing is really going to go down and may likely come to this level here. Let me see. Yes, once it start coming down, so at least the first area to target is this particular low here. You're going to take out this low first thing first. So after that low is taken, before start looking for some other areas to cash out our take profit. That's very huge. So that low is what our take profit will going to be. So, but then we'll keep an eye on USD card and see what happens, right? So we're expecting a sell this week on USD card. And for those that want to do counter trade, you can also look for a buy here. This is also an area of demand. This is an area of demand, so you can also look to buy at this level. So you look to buy at that particular level. But overall, we're expecting a sell on USD card. Okay, so USD CHF. USD CHF. USD CHF, we are still expecting a pullback. It's been dropping aggressively, but we still expect that pullback to happen before we sell, except if we are expecting a reason to buy. We're expecting a buy somewhere. So let's check if we can, there's a zone for a buy here. It's actually on that level. It's actually on that level. All these are all demand. These are all demand areas. This area you can expect to buy USD CHF from. This is the area you can expect to buy from. So we might start looking for a buy from this particular zone. Yes, we start looking for a buy from this particular zone. But right now, this analysis this time, we were still expecting that buy. I mean that sell to pull back and look for a sell. But when we start looking for a buy is when it pull back into when it tap into this area. This is the area of support, and this is a demand zone, right? So we can expect to start looking for a reversal from there. But now we're still expecting a sell. We're still expecting a sell. Anybody on the chat? Let's check if you have any comments or questions. Okay. Lawrence, thank you for the fire emoji. All right. So um let's go to the next one. Oh, okay. So the next one we're looking at that will be GBP JPY. You remember that last week when we analyzed GBP JPY, we said we wanted GBP JPY as at this level when price was at this level to come back here before it pull back. We come back here before we buy into this level. GBJPY refused and moved up, taking out this high. Coming back, we're expecting to pull back into these levels and we buy. Now it has rejected that particular level. So we're expecting it to hit here, to come down to this level for us to look for that buy, that same buy we're looking for. So it's beginning to happen right now. So let's wait for GBP to come back into this particular zone, right? Okay, so GBJPY, we are still expecting that buy to happen. What's happening? Okay. So wait for GBPJPY to come in here. We're patiently waiting for it. Yesterday I was watching GBPJPY chart and I was seeing reason to jump in and sell. But I decided to stick to my trading plan. I mean to buy. I decided to stick to my trading plan. So if I had jumped in yesterday for a buy, I would have lost that trade as well. So that's why it's always very good for you to stick to your trading plan, right? Uh, always good for you to have a trading plan and stick to them. Okay, so you can see that now. So it's coming down here. We're expecting a buy from here. Now, if you are the impatient guy or the scalper, you also have reason to look for yourself, right? There's also reasons for you to look for yourself on this particular trade. If you want to jump in on this trade, there are room for that, right? So when you come down to smaller time frame like 1 hour, you see there's a break of structure. We all know that this market is definitely coming here. So there's a break of structure here. There's a break of structure here. And there's a zone here to look out for. So expect to sell GBP from here. Expect to sell GBP from that particular zone, that supply zone. So you sell in here. Now, if you go down to 15 minutes, let's also see what's happening there. You see, it's a very nice area to sell, right? So you can sell from that particular area. And for those that are trend line traders, you put in your trend line from here. You see that you actually on the right direction. So if this market come back to that zone again, you have every reason to sell, right? At that time, it will be touching this trend line as well. So you can sell GBP, JPY from that zone. But for me, I like it big, so I will not wait for. I will not want to jump in on that at that level. So I want to wait for it. And when all conditions are met, I'm satisfied with them. I jump in because why? I am more I am more of a swing trader than the scalpers or day traders, right? So we'll make our money, we make our money, we make it, it comes in, it drops with wave. Boom. So we patiently wait for it. When it comes in, we jump in and it pumps in our cash. So we don't want to be jumping in and jumping out. But GBJPY anyway is good for even day traders, scalpers. You can find your way around GBPJPY. But overall, we're expecting a buy on GBPJPY, right? Okay. So, and like I used to tell you, the only thing you want to do here on this particular session we'll have here is just for you. Areas I'm marking my chart, you can always go and mark your chart and watch what price will do when you get to that area, the reactions of price for you to jump in. And also on the channel, on the Telegram channel, I always post these some of the top charts there for you to look at, right? You can always go back to the Telegram channel and you get access to some of these analysis, right? Okay. So the next one we're going to be looking at now is Euro AUD. Okay, so we wanted to buy Euro USD from this level last week. So as you can see, that particular analysis still stands because Euro AUD has not actually pulled back into that zone, right? It has not pulled back into that particular zone. So let's see what smaller time frame is telling us. Okay, so we're still expecting that buy at this particular zone. So why are we expecting a buy from that particular zone? Because there's a big picture here. There's a big picture on Euro AUD, and that big picture is that we're actually expecting to sell from this particular zone. We're expecting to sell from that zone, and price has actually tapped into that zone. The costly demand that will go down to a smaller time frame like 4 hours or 1 hour to frame our entries, right? So and you see, price tap into here, break of structure, change your character, and boom into this supply zone, and you see how price drops, right? Price drops. Now currently, you see price is actually in an upward movement, still going back to that particular zone. So is a strong supply zone. Now, and for the market to gather that strength to go back tap into that zone again for us to find another entry, the market needs to regain strength, as in it needs to have enough energy for it to be able to rise higher than where it is right now. And for that to happen, it needs to pull back here first, catch some breath before it move higher. So that is why we're expecting a buy on Euro AUD, right? So this is what we're expecting. When we get it there, we'll now find reason to find entries, right? Find our entry for a sell. That's what we are expecting on Euro AUD. But before then, we are looking for a buy right now. Hmm? Okay. GBP AUD. GBP AUD. Okay, so GBP AUD. Let's delete all of this. Okay. So GPSG, you can find liquidity lying above this high. So and all this liquidity are just magneto. This was going to magnet price to come higher, right? This will be the reason for price to come in here, go up higher. So this liquidity that are lying above here. So now that we know that there is liquidity lying above here, so even if we are selling, we'll be very careful with our sell because we know that the market will definitely go to a buy. And from here, this low has been broken. This is a break of structure. And here we have our other block, and we also have a fair value gap lying in between. This is on daily. Let's see. So this is a daily fair value, other block, and it also has a fair value gap. So I don't know if you can see the fair value gap. Can you guys see the fair value gap? Value gap. You can see this. There's a fair value gap between here and here. That tiny one. That's a fair value gap. And also we also have another block there, a daily order block. So that is a very nice confirmation. Our price will definitely reverse from that area. So let's go down to 4 hours and see if you can see clearly. Yes, on 4 hours you can see break of structure and probably another change your character, right? Change your character here. This is a break of structure. This is a change your character. So we're expecting price to tap into this zone. Sorry, this is a demand zone. So we expect price to tap here, tap in here, and we'll look for that buy. Now, before that buy, for the scalpers, they also have also reasons to look for a sell here. Because right here, we also have the market expanding from this particular consolidation zone, leaving this area behind, leaving this area behind. So you may also need to look for your sell from that zone. Let's go down to 1 hour to see what it looks like. Yes, it's actually a very good area to look for yourself. So you can also look for yourself from here. You can look to sell from here, right, into this zone, right? You can find your entry here, then into that zone. But during New York session, we'll come back to see if we can see, we'll see reason to either sell or buy on all of this space. As you know how we'll do it. So we'll come back through during New York session to see what we can do with them, right? Okay. USD JPY. USD JPY last week when we're analyzing it, we find out that on a daily time frame, this has broken some structures. Structures has been broken, right? It break of structure, and we may expect price to pull back into this area. And I also made you understand that for those that are doing trend line, let me delete this for you to see. For the trend line trader, you can see price is trending up. We may likely find price tapping into this particular area for us to buy again. As you can see, that price did not hold. It didn't happen. Price actually broke that low and is what selling right now. So what we need to do now is to go and find where is price going to, where is price and where is it going to, where is it going to reverse from. To find those areas, then before we now decide on the direction to go with USD JPY. Now USD JPY has been in a bearish move from the higher time frame, and we can see there is liquidity line below here as well. All this liquidity line below here, right? All this liquidity line below here. So we're expecting price to come down to that level the price to come down to that level. So if price is ready to go down now, we need to go down to daily 4 hours to find our zones, the zone that price may likely pull back to. So from here to here, we'll have a fair value gap and we'll have this here. So I think price should be able to pull back to this level for itself. Then let's go to 4 hours to find it. Yes, I think that's a very good area to look for that sell. So we're expecting price to pull back to this particular zone and we're looking for a sell. Can just accommodate this particular one as well. So these are the zone we're expecting USD to pull back to for us to continue to sell. For 3 USD to pull back to that zone and we'll look for a sell. Okay. Oh, I didn't know I have some comment here. Okay, so in Zoom, which we expect? We expect Lawrence. I don't understand you. My madam at the top, you can see it. Your screen is not changing. Oh, changing. How do you mean? Is how do you mean my screen is not changing? No? Okay. Only the USD. USD, we're expecting price to take out this liquidity and look for a sell on USD, AUD. That is exactly what you're seeing. So during the New York session, we'll come back to see if we have um, change of character and all of that. So if you can find a change of character on a smaller time frame like 1 hour or thereabout, of course, it's still breaking structure now. So we can find a way to sell AUD USD. NZD USD. Now our target on NZD USD is to buy and sell from this zone. So right now, what is it giving us? It refused to pull back to that zone, but it's currently buying. So we expect, like I told you, the market is not stabilized yet on some of those major economic data are released. So we expect we'll wait for this one to happen, either to sell from here or for it to pull back into this level for us to buy. EURCHF, EURCHF left us and is still selling. He's selling. So no interest on this one any longer because remember I told you that if Euro CHF is the slowest of it all. It's the slowest pair. It consolidates a lot, but when it wants to move, it move like crazy. It move it move crazily, and that's what happened to after a day after I analyzed Euro CHF. It actually proved itself, right? It proved itself. We wanted it to come into this zone here and buy and sell. I mean, that's exactly what you see how it dropped. It dropped, but it didn't give us reasons to enter. But then all good. So we're not very comfortable with personally not comfortable with Euro CHL. It's in rare cases that I look for entries on Euro CHL. Daily. Okay, so on daily we have this plane, we have break of structure here, change your character here, and we have our zone, our supply zone here. Sorry, our demand zone. We have our demand zone here. So we expect to buy GBP from here. We expect to buy GBP from there. My screen is not changing. Please, how do you mean, ma? How do you mean, oh? Okay. So, GBP cards. GBP card has taken out this high as projected that the high be taken out. The high is taken out already. So what do we do? Let's see if we can find entries. After I took out that high, so we're expecting it to come down to this level, right? So let's find our entries now. So, okay, taking out the high. Well, we have break of structure here. I would expect for me to start looking for that sell. There is liquidity here. On 1 hour, we have this taken out. Um, right. I will expect GBP card to take out this low, that liquidity before I can find my entry. Right now, it's still bullish. It's not clear. So, in as much as we have a break of structure here, it's still not clear to us. And we have equal high here. This is equal high. We have equal high here. So, it may likely go up and take out this high or come down and take. So, it's in between. So, it's not clear. If this, if it, what I have here is just equal lows here without this equal high, I may want us to look for a sell down here. But during the New York session, we'll come and check and see what price will do. Any Bitcoin lover here? Do you have any Bitcoin lovers? Should I check Bitcoin or should I move? You can't see the pairs you are analyzing. Chineke, that's serious. Oh. But it's showing now. It's showing. Please, can you all see my chart? Please confirm if you can see my chart or let me check. Oh, that's serious. Oh. Yeah. Please let me check. Hmm. Is your network or is showing? Oh, it's showing. Let me even project only the chart. It's showing. It could be from a network. It's your network. I just switched to another. It's a network. It's work is showing. Ah, because everything is showing here. It's showing. It's your network, ma. Ejoma. Okay, so BTC lovers. Let's look at BTC. We are rounding up though. Yes, BTC is playing just the way we projected. We wanted BTC to come to this to revert from any of this area, this high here. And I said once you break this particular high upward, then it knows that BTC is really ready to go higher, more higher than it has ever gone. But before it can continue to that levels of highs, that it needs to pull back into this particular zone before it can move than uh, higher than 112,000, right? So right now, BTC is actually doing having that drop. So you need to sell into this zone before a buy will happen. So if I'm in your shoes and I want to trade BTC, I'm looking for a sell opportunity and not a buy opportunity. So look for that sell. Like here on the 4 hours, it has taken out this high. That is a break of structure. Right now it's coming down. Once you take out this low, you have every reason to start looking for your sell on BTC. Euro GBP, as analyzed, it has tapped, take out this particular low. We're actually looking for a scalping entries last week, I remember. So now it just tapped into that small zone and it sold. It just gave like how many pips? It sold like 14 to 15 pips. Yes, 14 pips, and it reversed. Right now it's on the zone where we actually the main key levels we're expecting GBP, Euro GBP to get to. It's already on that particular areas right now. So we'll be expecting to see what price will do at that level. Then we can now go in for a sell. But I think I will switch down to 1 hour to see what price is doing. Yes. So is a sell. It's not yet ready, but then you can see it's still bullish. So until this, we have that change of character, we have reason to sell. Right now, we don't have any reason to sell, right? Don't have any reason to sell right now. No confirmation yet. We'll have that confirmation. We'll be jumping in for a sell. AUD card finally. If there's any pair I've not covered, you would like me to cover, please go ahead and let me know in the chat box. Liquidity taken out, and honestly, this AUD card is not clear. This AUD card is not clear. It's not a clean pair, but then I can see another liquidity up here. I can see another liquidity up here. That's what I can see. So the market is definitely coming to clear these guys, tap into this. So you just expect our sell, our usual sell. We should expect it from AED card at this particular supply level, right? Okay, so any questions, any pairs you want me to check? Let's have it now. Any pairs? Okay, fine. So since there's no other pair you want me to look at, so I think we're good. We'll stop here. By New York session, we'll come back and look for entries. We'll come back and look for entries during New York session, right? So thank you. See you guys at the New York time. Bye.